Hi everyone, my name is Les Holmes and you are tuned into The Thread on thethread.ca. Have you ever noticed when you were young and you're little, your parents were so nurturing, so caring and affectionate. They went out and bought you movies like The Incredibles. Your mother would take her hand and rub your cheek. Your dad would come by and graze your hair with his hand and rub your head. Then you grow up, you hit adolescence, and you become that nuisance walking around the house. The topic of today is life changes.
Have you ever felt? Are you watching?
The Thread. Yeah. Are you listening? The Thread. Yeah. Yeah.
You know everybody's talking about.
I remember a time where I would lay across my mother's lap, and she had long nails back then, and she would gently graze my back and scratch my back, and it was soothing. It felt great. There was a time where, I would ask for things and she would just get them. She would buy them. And then I grew up, started growing up, and things changed. She started, talking to me like, take out the trash, go clean your room, do this, do that, go read a book. And I started thinking, man, where did the time go? I remember, being kind of spoiled. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like I was irritated. I hit high school and I barely seen my mother. She worked afternoons, and there would be times where I missed her because I felt like I needed my mother. I needed her for everything when I was young. And then as I grew and became more independent, I no longer needed her like I used to feel like I needed her back in the day. I mean, I truly remember where there were times where I would go sleep out at my cousins or my buddies for the weekend or whatnot, and I would actually feel a sense of being homesick, where I just wanted to get home and be around my mother. Well, all that changes over time. And it's not because you love the person any less or anything like that. It's just one of those things that are considered a life change. And we all go through it at some point. I recall being at a friend of mine's house, and, his father was there, and his father never really talked to him much. And I'm like, there was this awkward silence around the house all the time. And I'm like, I wondered if that was normal. And one day I asked him, hey man, is it always like that around here? It's like, do you and your dad barely ever talk? And he's like, yeah, not that much. He said, I mean, sometimes. Now that I'm finishing high school, he leaves me little hints like he wants me to move out or something. And I'm like, isn't it funny how life changes? He said, it's hilarious, man. Actually, he said, I came home one day and I find these university pamphlets on the kitchen table. And he's like, I know they want me to go to university and everything. He said, but it's like they're trying to push me out the house now or something. Like, I came home and my dad left army brochures on my pillow. And he's like, I kind of laugh like, damn, they're really trying to get me out the house. Try to understand, because your parents want what's best for you. No matter what, at the end of the day, they want you to be the best that you can be in life. So maybe their approach is bad. Maybe the way they communicate is poor. Maybe they're not doing it in the right way. They're human too. Maybe they don't know the best way to deal with you or your personality or the character that you've become. And so there might be little tiffs. So I'm here to say, don't take those subtle hints as your parents don't care for you or they just want you to move out. At some point, I'm sure they do want you to move out so they can do their thing again. And they want you to get out, find a mate, get established, find a job, get a career. But it's not that they don't care about you, I'm sure, in most cases. So if you see those subtle hints, don't take it as that. take it as they want you to progress in life, and they want you to, they want you to begin your journey to become something significant in society. Then the next phase. So you get out, you get a job, you got a mate, you're doing your thing as a young adult, and you don't have the time to come back and visit your family or your parents as often, and you start finding your parents calling you up saying, why don't you come around this weekend, why don't you come by? Your dad might say, come help me with the garage, or come help me fix the car, or whatever. Your mom might say, oh, come by for dinner, bring your girlfriend or bring your boyfriend. Then they start trying to draw you back because you left, you flew out the nest and you're doing your thing. And it's funny, again, it's life changes. But, as an adult, you're getting busier. And then, with work and whatnot, and then say you start a family, and then you really have restricted time to maybe come back and visit, then they start trying to draw you back even more. See, these are the things that I call life changes, because it's funny how it kind of goes in a circle, right? Then, you come by and then you find yourself just stopping by your parents for holidays. And it's like your mom and dad wish, I wish so-and-so, I wish they had more time. Even though I don't mean this literally, but it's funny how when you're an adolescent, you start kind of like becoming a little annoying to your parents, and they're pushing you out. And then later in life, when you're established and they need your help, and they're coming to you, asking you to come by and help them with this, help them with that, then they become a little bit annoying. Not annoying in the sense to where it agitates you, but it's like, geez, But, you do it because it's your parents, right? But it's just funny how the tables turn over time. And then the older they get, the more they need you, the more they become dependent on you. And, being good-hearted people, we always run to them and, to their rescue and help them out, because they did that for us when we were younger and we were growing up, going through our trials and tribulations. And, I'm a smart ass sometimes, so it's like, how my mom used to deflect me when I was going through adolescence and young adulthood. She would deflect me, and so now I found myself saying, oh, Mom, I'm going to put your brothers and sisters' phone numbers in your phone on speed dial so she can call them. Or, when she gets a little older and maybe can't drive anymore, I'm going to leave a big taxi number on the refrigerator, so she don't call me always for a ride. And that's going to be my little payback. But I'll always be there no matter what. I'm sure she knows that and everyone else knows that. So anyway, the moral of this whole story is life changes. So do we. We're born, we grow, we become adults, we start families of our own. Our relationships change with those around us and the people we care about. And sometimes we grow apart, sometimes we don't. If we're lucky, we can stay close knit, but sometimes life doesn't allow us to be as tight as we want to be with the ones we love and the people who are always around us. So my advice is, when you see yourselves going through these life changes, endure that and realize that this is a normal part of life. Sometimes people grow apart, and you can love each other from afar, and it doesn't mean you love them any less. It just means, you don't have the time. You can't put in the time like you used to when you were younger and didn't have as many responsibilities. None of us are immune to life changes. We're all going to go through it. Leave your comments below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, I'm Les Holmes, The Thread, on thethread.ca. Bam.
The thread.